Okay, part two, because I got cut off. I guess after you go over a certain amount of time, Facebook Live cuts you off and makes you end it. Either that or I was on to something powerful and the enemy stopped it. Either way, part two, here we go, and I'm going to wrap this up. I had to lose everything I loved and everything I thought was so important in order to truly be able to walk with Christ, to be able to understand Him, to experience His pains and sufferings and passion, to be able to relate to all my fellow mankind on every level, to be able to be like a St. Paul who lives for God and who can be turned from a Saul to a Paul, to be able to not only hear the word and be a doer of the word, but to live out the word and see it manifest in my own life and to apply it to myself and to be able to relate to the word and say, oh, that's what Paul had to go through. Now I get it. Oh, that's what happened to Jesus. Oh, I remember that. Now I know what that must have been like. My family did that to me too. My friends betrayed me too. Oh, I know what it's like to be falsely accused, to be hated for no reason, you know? I know what it's like to give up your life pretty much for God and for the world, and everybody hates you. There was a necessary process, and it was a painful one, and it's still ongoing. Before I can be able to be bold enough and confident enough and to know enough, not just think or believe, but to know for certain enough to preach effectively. So, I'm 42 years old now this month. I just turned 42 on February 16th. I entered seminary at 39. I thought I was going to be a priest in a few years. That didn't work out, but you know what? We're running out of time down here. There's probably not enough time for me to become an ordained priest anyway. If World War III just started, then we are at an even shorter amount of time. What's more important, me becoming a priest or me getting what I know already out to the world now? So I think that's what God's doing. I think He's like saying, Steve, forget all that stuff. Don't worry about it. I need you on board. Are you ready? Are you ready to minister to people? Are you ready to do now? Don't wait till later when you have a collar on, but now you're equipped. Do what you can with what you know now, and I'll continue to teach you, and you'll continue to grow and learn, and then you'll have even more to teach people. But I just need you to be real. I want you to be genuine, okay? I said in the Bible, this is the Lord, He said in the Bible, confess your sins to one another. Well, that's why I openly confess to you guys what I do and when I mess up, because it's going to be revealed before everybody on Judgment Day anyway. And if you leave any skeletons in the closet, any dark areas, any dark corners, the devil will stay there and he will hide out and he will use that against you. So the quicker you confess and just be honest with the public, there's no stones for him to throw because you live in a glass house. It's all transparent. So I try to remain transparent with you all. And I try to remain real. And I try to say that we're all in this together and we're all walking this road together and we're here to build up and edify and teach and chastise and rebuke and build up one another. That's the body of Christ. I'm doing my small little part. I'm only one man out of 7.6 billion down here in my little area of the world doing what little I can. Maybe I was only given one talent and some people were given 5. I don't know, but I'm not going to bury that talent. I'm going to sing like a canary so that Jesus could at least receive some interest on it when He comes to collect, okay? I speak out of Bible verses and parables if you haven't figured that out. I'm never going to be one of those preachers, I guarantee it, that can say, oh, I know exactly what chapter and verse that was in the Bible. I can't say, oh, John 3:16, blah, 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 blah. No. But I know what the word says. It's in my heart, so I can preach it. But don't quote me and say, where exactly, what Bible, what chapter and verse. Because you know what? I don't have time for that. I know what the book says. If you don't believe me, then don't listen to me. I don't know. Go read it yourself. Then you should know the answer to that. All I know is I've read it enough to know what it says and to be able to explain it in my own words to you and apply it to my life. Okay? The best I can. If I was already perfect at that, I'd be in heaven already as a saint. Okay? I am not. When I am perfect, God will take me probably because that's what He wants. As soon as you're ready, when your cake is ready in the oven, you don't leave it in there for another hour to burn. You take it out when it's ready, right? Well, when saints are ready, when God knows that you're perfected and ready for heaven, He doesn't care if you're 10 years old or 20 years old. He will snatch you out of here and bring you up now before anything can happen. before you fall and lose your soul. And he doesn't want a stain on you. So he can use you very powerfully from heaven once you get there. So we have major powerful intercessors in heaven right now praying for us. You scared me. I hate when people jump out of nowhere. Anyway, so the moral of the story is, listen, get right. Get right with God if you're not. Get serious about your Christianity. This is not a joke. Again, we have world headlines proving to you what we crazy Christians have been warning you about for a long time now, and now it is here. And it's going to get worse. And I'm not trying to scare you, and I'm not trying to be all gloom and doom. But if you want Joel Osteen or Joyce Meyer, somebody else, go watch them, and they'll fill your head with all happy-go-lucky, everything's so wonderful and hopeful. You're not going to get that from me, all right? I don't have time to fill your minds with smoke, all right? I'm not going to blow smoke. I know what's going on, and I know it's not going to be great, and I'm not saying to lose hope. No, you need hope. And I'm just saying that if you really have Christ, you need not worry so much, but these things are going to happen whether you know Christ or not. They're going to happen whether you're saved or not. You and I might die. Where are we going to go for eternity? That's what I'm asking you to focus on. You have a great chance of going to heaven if you just do this right and get Jesus now and start living properly. Because when the bombs start falling, sooner or later they will, or an asteroid or another pandemic, it's probably all on the way. Actually, I know it's all on the way. I don't know the exact date and hour, but it's coming. And so far, everything else I predicted, or didn't really predict, I told you because it was in the Bible, has already come to pass. Now, I know the rest is going to happen. So, I believe the Word of God. And it's never failed me. So, again, don't be all scared. Prioritize. Put God first, your family and others second. You come last, okay? I know you're not going to like that part, but you and I come last. God first, his people second, okay? Love God very much with all your heart and mind, and then love all others. You should be so busy loving and being a blessing to everybody that there's no time for sinning, there's no time for hurting one another, there's no time for war, okay? Get out there and start being a real Christian, which is becoming love and mercy itself. Become transformed by the renewing of your heart and mind. Become like another Christ down here. Let him live and breathe in and through you. Let him bless others and love others and be merciful to others through you, through your mouth and your hands. You are the mouth and hands of Christ down here if you be part of the body. So go out there and do what you were commanded to do. Don't get so caught up with luxury. Listen, if you're going to heaven, what does it matter if you have to wait another 40 years before you're living in a kingdom with a crown on your head and streets paved with gold? You don't need to have it right now. You don't need that yacht and that Mercedes right now, especially if it's going to take your time away from God. You need to focus on getting up there where you're going to have better than anything you can have down here, and it will not be taken away from you. You'll have it for eternity. So why everybody's so busy trying to get all this stuff now? You only live once, gotta have a mansion by 35, gotta have a yacht, gotta have this, gotta have that, wanna go to Disney World. That's all fine and well if you're living like a hell-bound world who has no hope. But if you want to go to heaven, and that's your main goal, you will have all that later, forever. What's the rush? You only have a few years down here. Don't waste it on trying to collect worldly happiness and things that you cannot take with you as soon as you drop dead, which could be at any moment. So get your priorities right. Make Jesus front and center in your life. You're going to need him. Trust me, things are only going to get worse. You watch. I hate having to say that, but it's getting worse. We are now in World War III. You do not want to be down here without God. You want to have your hand in his hand through this. And again, you and I might die. You want to die holding his hand. You do not want to die absent from him. If a bomb falls tomorrow and nukes this nation and we all vaporize, you're going to wake up either in heaven or hell. You need Jesus now so you wake up in heaven. You understand? This should be everyone's top priority right now. The church needs to stop playing church. The church needs to be the church. The church needs to take this very seriously. And it should not have taken World War III to make you people wake up and realize, gee, maybe the Bible really is true. Gee, maybe these Christians are on to something. No, we've been telling you for 2,000 years. Enough is enough. What side are you on? Choose this day whom you're going to serve. Because that is who you're going to be with for all eternity. God bless. Please pray for me. I need it. And get to church this weekend. Start going more often. Read that Bible. Start living a Christian life, please. And I use the word Christian because that's what we are. I am a proud Roman Catholic Christian. But I'll just use the word Christian so that you all know I'm on the same team here, okay? I don't get hung up on the small stuff. I'm not into titles. I'm a human being. I'm a sinner who needs Jesus Christ. I am a Christian, and I am striving for holiness and to enter that kingdom by the narrow way. Will you come with me? I'm trying to lead as many of you with me. I will do it alone if I have to, but it would be a lot easier if I had many of you with me on this journey. I mean, even Jesus had 12 disciples with him. I'm not Jesus, but it would be nice to have 12 friends who are on the same road with me, so we could all, iron sharpens iron, get each other to the kingdom. It'll be easier. There's safety in numbers. I don't care if we're all round up and fed to the lions. I'd rather be with all of you getting fed to those lions than have to be there getting fed to them by myself. But like I said, I'll do it anyway. Please be there with me, okay? Please don't leave me out here on the battlefield alone. If I can do this, I don't want to hear excuses, because a lot of you have comfortable homes. Maybe your parents paid for it. Maybe you have good paying jobs. Maybe you have good health. Maybe you have a husband or a wife and kids. Maybe, I don't know. But I'll tell you this much, I don't have a wife and kids. I don't have a home of my own. I don't even have a car of my own right now. My family left me on the street. I only have Jesus. And that means I have enough. I have everything that I need. But it would be, so if I could be poor and have to work my butt off out here 24/7 and never have enough to make ends meet or have a home or whatever, but still preach and still teach and still spend time in church and doing this for God and for all of you, what excuse do you have? None. And the more money and financial stability and security you have, the fewer excuses you have not to be doing this and living like this. If I can do it, if Mother Teresa can do it, you can do it too. I don't want to hear your excuse anymore. There will be no excuses on Judgment Day. You and I, and this is a wake-up call to me as well as everybody, because I have to practice what I preach. We are running out of time, and Jesus is going to hold me accountable and all of us for every word out of our mouths, every thought, every desire, things we didn't do that we should have done. Guys, there is so much at stake here and so much we need to be focusing on. There's no time for sin. There's no time for worldliness. There's no time. Time's an illusion. Okay? So, bear these things in mind every day. A wise person fears the Lord. The beginning of wisdom, fear is the beginning of wisdom. Okay? Every saint knows this, that time is short and precious, and that it must be spent on our salvation and on the salvation of others. If there's any time left for anything else, fine. But there really isn't. I'm sorry. Because, look, I've had 2 years to rebuild my life from nothing, and I still have nothing. I could have had more if I didn't spend a lot of time in church and prayer and making these videos for the Lord, for you. But I understand that my vocation at heart is to be a priest of Christ at heart, even if not in vocation-wise. We are all baptized into the royal priesthood. I have an obligation to God. He's kept me alive this long. And I promised him that as long as he did, I would do this. I'm not going to go back on my promise to God and end up in hell. I'm sorry. Nothing's worth that. And so I understand that if I die doing this, good for me, and I will have a home in heaven. I don't have to worry about that stuff. And I also know that God will provide on his time what I need. It might be living with Donna. Who knows? But you know what? It's what I need right now. It might not be my own, but I have a roof and a bed. I have heat and I have food. What else do I need? I have a place to shower and I have a job. But I have an important role in life now, which is so dear to my heart. And that role is this. My ministry. Even though it's small. I don't care if I only reach 5 people. That's 5 more people reached by one person down here than none at all. All right? So I'm doing the best I can for the Lord and for you guys, and I want a bigger platform, and I'd like to have a home and a car and all that. But what is most important right now, especially with World War III at our door now? Getting souls to heaven and getting myself ready, right? Because we can die at any time, and I won't need a house or a car. That's not going to help me. I'm going to want to be worried about going to heaven. And that's what I'm worried about. That's my top priority right now. And I need to remind myself that every time I fall into sin and do stupid things because, practice what you preach, right? That's why I need your prayers. I don't ask for money from you guys like a lot of preachers. I ask for your masses, your Holy Communion to be offered up for me, rosaries and chapels of divine mercy. Keep them coming. I'm out here doing this. It is not easy for me. I'm not complaining. I am grateful for the opportunity, but this is not easy for me. Do you understand? Very hard for me to do this all on my own out here. You have no idea what I battle every day, from health issues to Donna's sick, to poverty, to demonic attacks, and what am I getting from this? Am I writing books? Am I making movies? No. I'm not getting donations. Nothing. I even asked for donations once. Did I get them? No. So I don't get anything out of this. That's how you can trust me. Unless you know I'm saying something that's not biblical, then you need to correct me. But I'm telling you, what I preach comes from life experience and from that Bible. And that's all I got. Because there is nothing else you need. You need to know the truth of Christ. What He said. What the apostles said. That's what you need. That's what all God's concerned about is that you and I get to heaven. That's it. The rest He could care less. He's not a respecter of persons. He don't care if you're good looking or ugly, rich or poor, sick, black, white, doesn't matter. He wants your soul in heaven, that's all. And then once you're with Him safe in heaven, you'll be worshiping Him for all eternity, one big happy family. But we got to get there. That is the test. That is the battle. So remember that. All other things get pushed to the side. And you know what? We do have to work every day. So you find a way to sanctify your work. Learn from the saints. Offer up everything you do. Even if you have a job you hate, all the more so. Offer it up. Do penance. Pray throughout the day. You can pray while you're working, washing dishes, swabbing a floor. Prayer is not always just long-form prayer or, proper prayer. Sometimes just talking to God is prayer. Praying for others. I spend more time praying for other people than I do for myself because I have a lot of stuff, but I'm like, you know what, Lord? I'm so sick and tired of every day getting on my knees, giving you a laundry list of stuff that I need. Me. With a whole world of dying, hurting people out there who are going to hell. No, you know what? You already know what I need. I say it once, it's done. If you want to give it to me, fine. If not, what can I do? But there's other people out there who don't know who to turn to and who need help, who need mass, so that's what I do. I pray for them, and I know that God will reward me because I'm loving Him by obeying Him, and I'm loving my neighbor by praying for them if that's the least I can do. I'll give them water and food if I can, clothing. I do what I can, but I don't have much. Sometimes all I can do for you people is suffer for you and pray for you, and that's what I do. So bring in the prayer requests. Send them to my P.O. box. I will bring them before the Lord. I will, I promise you. The best of my ability. I'm trying to be a saint, and if I become a saint, that means I made it to heaven. Only saints get to heaven. If I don't make it to heaven, I'm not a saint. But in the meantime, I'm going to try to live like one. I'm going to try to be one. And if that just means that I can just do this, fine. I'll be a tiny little unknown, obscure saint from Connecticut. I don't expect to have statues made after me. I'm not worthy, and I don't want that. I just want as many of us in heaven as possible. I want to reach as many of you as possible. I promised Jesus that's what I wanted. I just want us there because I'm telling you, I know that once this is over and we're all there safe, we could laugh about all this. We'll be in heaven together and it'll never be taken from us. We just got to get there, and that's top priority. I want to keep people healthy and alive in body, but their soul is more important. That's eternal. Your body's going to break down eventually, but your soul is forever. So yeah, I'm sorry if I'm more concerned about people's eternity than I am with their temporary state right now, but eternity is far more important because it's forever. So be it. Selah. Pray for me. I will pray for you. It helps if you send me prayer requests so I know specifically what you want me to offer up, what you want me to pray for, I'm only one man, but I do honor even if it's just a quick prayer. Sometimes, look, if you think that God's going to honor a whole rosary more than a real prayer from the heart, I think you're wrong. Yes, the more I can do, the better. But you got to understand, I get a lot of prayer requests. So I can't possibly do a rosary for every single person that sends me a request. But sometimes if it's a real important issue, I will make the time to do a special rosary or a special Divine Mercy chaplet for one particular person. When I do stuff like that, I like to do it for one person, not multiple people. Because everyone, especially someone who's dying, needs that whole chaplet for themselves. They're front and center. That's their chance at God's mercy. So I don't play around with that and say, oh, Lord, here's 10 people who need this chaplet today. Will you honor them all? Come on, that's to cutting corners. So if I can't do that, there's other little shorter things that I do, but I most certainly never let someone who asks me for prayer slip through. I will get on my knees right then and there, even if it's 60 seconds, and I'll lift them up, and I'll pray for them or whatever. And God hears that. He knows the intentions. He knows that I'm praying for the person, and then I will try to include them in a mass, But the mass also I try to do usually for one person or a specific intention at a time. And I only get to mass maybe twice a week, so sometimes I need it for myself. But you know what? I try to say, Lord, I'm here. I offer this mass and this Holy Communion for this person. Or this person's dying. Or the Pope needs it right now. Or this priest needs it because he's doing the wrong thing. Or whatever. So listen, guys, we are busy. To be a Christian is not just a label. Please stop treating it like you're just a label, like a citizen. You have a job to do. This is 24/7. You know why priests are running thin and they're running around with their heads cut off? Because there's so much thrown on them. An ordained priest is not the only person who can pray for people. Yes, there's things that only they can do, and they are busy. But you and I are part of the same royal priesthood, and although our faculties are less, we're not ordained to do as much as they do, there's a lot we can be doing to take the load off of them. Don't wait. I love this, and I'm going to end this, because this is what I see a lot. Oh, would you pray for so-and-so? Why can't you pray for them? Oh, well, you're closer to God. No, I'm not. And let me tell you, even if I were, you need to be just as close to Him. So, want to start? Here's how you start. Lord, this person, a friend of mine, instead of saying Steve can pray for this person, you do it. Grab a rosary, grab the Bible, go to Mass, you do it. I'll do it because I'm afraid you won't. Because if you're asking me, that means you're not doing it. And I don't want the person to suffer for not get prayer because you won't do it. But do you understand how stupid that is when you say, oh, can you do this for this person? Can you do that for this person? Whatever. It's like, okay, I will do that. And the priest, trust me, priests and nuns feel the same way. We do this to them all the time. Oh, Father, pray for this and pray for that, pray for that. And the guy's like, I don't already have 2 congregations of people I'm working on already. Hello, why can't you do it too? You have a responsibility. What do you do in the pew? What do you do all day long? Do you have prayer time? Do you make a holy hour? Hello, you should be doing this too. What makes you think God's going to listen to me more than He's going to listen to you? Don't you think that you're a child of God too, and that God would like to hear from you once in a while? He doesn't want any estranged children out here. He doesn't want to hear from the same people all the time. He would like everybody to talk to Him. That's why He created you. So remember that. Now, yes, of course, I will join in agreement. I'll stand in agreement with you on something. If you need something, you need prayer, you need help, of course I'm going to lift it up in prayer. I will do that for you or for whoever you send my way. But I would appreciate if you have a friend in Jamaica who's broke their leg or lost their job, you don't say, oh, Saint Steve, can you come and pray for this person? Well, they're your friend. I don't even know the person. Yes, I will now that you asked, but do you know what I'm saying? Why aren't you doing that for them? Do you really think that God's going to honor my prayers more than yours? And if He did, shame on you for not being on the same level as me, because I am not a saint. And so I'm not holier than thou. Guys, I try to be holy, but I'm not. I try to live like a saint and be a good example, but I am not yet. I don't even know if I'm going to heaven yet until Jesus says, well done, my good and faithful servant. Enter in to your master's joy. But until that day, I could still lose my soul just like you or anybody else. So do not think I'm a saint. Do not act like I'm holy or pious. I don't want that. That's going to hurt me. That's going to bring me down. It only draws Satan's attention to attack me all the more. Oh, this person thinks he's so and so special, huh? Well, I'll show him real fast how unsaintly he is. And he does that to me. So I'm trying to tell you, never put somebody above anybody else down here, because we are not. None of us are better than anybody else. And none of us are more special or more worthy. Any saint will tell you that. So I appreciate it, but I am not a saint as much as I want to be. And I'm not a priest as much as I want to be. And I do try to live as both, but I have my days. So, which is why I'm always asking for prayer, because I know I need it. It's called humility. I don't want to become proud and arrogant, because I'll go to hell real fast that way. God detests the proud. So, again, I'm not discouraging prayer requests. I'm just saying, before you ask me to pray for somebody I don't even know, or somebody who's in your circle, come to me. We'll both pray together. That would be awesome. I'll pray with you. I will stand in agreement with you, and I will honor your request, and I will pray for them. But please, you must understand, your prayers can be powerful too. You're not beneath me, and I am not above anybody. So understand that. And do your job. Please pray constantly. For yourself, for everybody, and look for people. What I do is sometimes I drive around, and God always answers. Lord, who do you want me to reach today? Who do you want me to minister today? Send somebody. Send me another one, Lord. And every time I pray that prayer, every time, sometimes 3 times a day, He will send someone. And I know that the rest of my Sunday is going to be devoted to ministering. I go to the cemetery to pray for the souls of the dead, and all of a sudden some poor person walks up to me. Can you pray for me? I noticed you were praying. Or, can I talk to you? And thank you, Lord, you sent one. And we talk. And they cry, and we pray, and they confess. It's amazing. And then another one. Lord, send me another one. And another one comes at the store. This is how it works. So you can never run out of good works, good deeds, people to pray for. This is what the Christian does. It's not just a title. It's not a Sunday thing. You are a child of the King, an ambassador of Christ, a royal priesthood, a prince or princess in the kingdom of heaven, because God, the King of Kings, is your Father. HRH. You're an HRH. His or her Royal Highness in God's eyes. That's not just a title you walk around and enjoy your life. Okay? No. They do things. Princes and princesses are supposed to be doing something. It's a job. So I'm only asking you as a Christian to recognize your holy obligation to God to bear that title of a Christian and go do your job. Serve your king, serve your brother, your fellow man. All right? It's not rocket science. You can do it. I'm struggling to do it every day, but I do it. That means you can do it as well from wherever you are. If you're bedridden or wheelchair bound, you have even more time. Do it. If you're suffering, do not waste your suffering. If you have back pain, headache, cancer, I don't care if you have a paper cut, offer it up for souls. You can offer it up. Never waste your suffering. Every saint will tell you suffering is very meritorious, and you are to use it. And you always say, what I do with my suffering, say it's a migraine, say I stubbed my toe, I don't care. Car accident, cancer, whatever I've gone through in life, a loss of a loved one, I offer it up. I say, Jesus, I offer up this suffering, and I join it with yours on the cross during your passion for the conversion of souls, for the souls in purgatory, or for your glory and honor and kingdom's advancement. And sometimes, literally, He will take that pain away from me immediately. It's like He just takes it. Other times I have to remain suffering. But I know He takes that, and He does something good with it. And then the devil tries to throw something else my way. And I say, okay, here's another lemon. It just slapped me in the face. I'm going to make some lemonade with it. We're not going to waste it. I'm not going to complain about it. Yeah, it hurt. And I got more lemons. So here's what, Jesus, I take this happened, and I offer it up for the souls, or for the conversion of my family, or for the healing of this person who has cancer. Whatever. You do not waste your suffering. You do not waste a moment of your life down here. It is precious. This is what it means to live and breathe as a Christian. This is what it means to pray constantly. It's not always with the mouth. It's not always on the knees. It's not always in church. It's all the time, in season and out of season, whenever you can, to go around as a Christian, to be the light and salt of this earth. It's much needed. And find people to bless. Maybe a smile. Maybe a good, happy word. Some encouragement. A shoulder to cry on. Prayer. Somebody needs prayer. Ask them if you can pray for them. If they need food or money or clothing, whatever it is, go out there and do what Jesus did. That was the point of this. He gave the Great Commission to the disciples, the apostles, and he said, now go out and make more disciples and teach them what I taught you until I return. Keep spreading the gospel to the ends of the earth until I return. In other words, you saw what I did during my ministry on earth for 3 years. I want you to do it now. Continue doing it till you die and teach others to do it so that it will be happening when I return one day in 2,000 years. And if everybody did that, everybody would be a Christian. The world would not be at war right now. There wouldn't be poverty and rape and abortion and murder and all this kind of stuff. Because everybody would be a Christian, loving on their neighbor and being merciful and loving God and loving neighbor. And we would have a utopia down here. It would be heaven on earth. But because most people, the majority of mankind, refuses to be a real Christian, refuses to obey God, who else is going to do the work? They're all too busy living for themselves and enjoying themselves, every man for themselves, which is why there's not enough to go around for everybody now, which is why some people are rich and some people are dirt poor, which is why people are dying and suffering needlessly in this world, because there's not enough genuine Christians in this world. Do you understand? There you go. That is the solution. But mankind has rejected it. And so, God is furious. He gave us plenty of time. Now the judgments are falling. And so, you better be found being a good Christian even when the fire is falling. Do not stop. Because your eternity is counting on it. Okay? Your eternity depends on it. I don't care what everybody else is doing in your life. You be a real Christian. God is counting on you, and many hurting people in this world are counting on you to bring the love and mercy and help of Christ, the knowledge of Christ to them through your mouth and hands. And if you will not do it, God will find someone else to do it. But woe be to you on Judgment Day, especially if you know that you should be doing it and you're not. So, this is why I'm so radical and crazy, because I know what I need to be doing, and I have to be about doing it till the day I die now, because I took on this responsibility when I said yes to following Christ, and I realized, and he said, first count the cost, because it is going to cost. It might even cost you your blood, your very life. Are you ready for that? Well, yes, Lord, because you're the way, the truth, and the life. I want to go to heaven. So be it then. I'm glad to have you on board, Steve. Now, pick up your cross, like I had to, and follow me. And so that's what I'm trying to do. And I'm just here to encourage as many of you as possible in my lifetime to do the same. In any way you can. Some of you have big cement crosses. Some of you have little sticks to carry. Whatever God gave you, carry it properly and do the best you can with it. If he gave you one talent, do not bury it. Make another. At least get God interest on it. If he gave you 5, then you better have 5 more, because he would not have given you so many if he didn't know that you were equipped to make double. All right? So God gives us, he doesn't give us more than we can handle. Well, that's true. He knows the plans he has for each one of us, and they are good if we stay in line with his plans. It is when we get out of his will that we get ourselves into trouble. Our soul is lost, our eternity is lost, and this world becomes a worse, darker place. But every time a person turns on the lights and becomes a Christian, the world becomes a brighter place. One is better than none. This is supposed to be like a spark that starts a fire. If one little spark can start a forest fire and burn down half of California, think about what the spark of the Word of God can do with one Christian. Could ignite a revolution, and we can really conquer evil down here. But there's not enough people willing. They want to call themselves Christian, maybe go to church on Sunday, but they are not willing to do this 24/7. Well, then don't call yourself a Christian, because you know better. And it's only going to be used against you on Judgment Day, because you knew better, and you knew what was required of you to bear that name, to be a follower of Christ, and you decided not to do it. So you gained nothing, the world gained nothing, heaven gained nothing from you having been here, and you're going to be thrown out into outer darkness of hell, where there's weeping and gnashing of teeth, like Jesus said, happens to lazy servants. So I'm just making this video because I need to be reminded constantly. And if I need to be reminded, I know there's other people out there who need to be reminded as well. Now go serve your King. And don't forget to pray for me too. I need it.